Season 3, babies! Oh my god, it's Season 3! Skype sessions. Be safe, be kind, but most importantly, hit the jingle.
Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House comedy podcast with the Babyface. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, Isolation Land. I hope you're all doing good. I hope you're all keeping safe. Not coughing on each other or licking each other's eyeballs or none of that nasty shit. Wait until after the quarantine and when the brothels are open again. Like us good people. Like, you know, us responsible people. Got a brand new episode of the Babyface In Your House comedy podcast. This is episode 18 and we're doing it with, well, this is going to be a new style. We're having to do it over Skype at the moment for obvious reasons. So I thought, first one we did when we started this originally, we did it with Lukeman, Anthony Mcdonnell. So for first Skype one, first full length Skype podcast, yeah, I thought it made sense to just bring him back. And before we go straight into the podcast, we're going to play a little bit of one of his freestyle raps that he's been bringing out. He's been doing a couple of freestyle raps lately from Lukeman, Rhymes Again. That's Lukeman, Rhymes Again. So yeah, check it out and then check out the podcast. See you in a minute.
Lukeman, Rhymes Again. Bat Soup, 0121 chamber. Let's get it. Bat soup, bad moods and bad dudes. Bless them, bless me and bless you. Bat soup, bad moods and bad views. Bless them, bless me and bless you. A black Clint Eastwood tearing the city streets up, slaying microphones, eating pussy and getting pizza. Give me some nice grief, I'll kick a hole through your speakers. Fuck dealing with your workers, you better call me your chief up. With Vash plotting our schemes at the table when we meet up. Over some green buds, I pump funk through the tree trunks. Some young bucks with the nunchucks riding on your lunch truck till we get our funds up, nigga. What? My life is turbulent, give me the praise because I'm earning it. The best in the city full of murderers. I'm spazzing out, grab me a dragon stout. Join me for dinner inside of a lion's house and end up in the lion's mouth. Dressed to kill as you thought you were dining out. The only game in town when my style's around. I'm a stand-up guy, you always lining down. Got that designer sound to make 'em wanna light a cloud. So bang this in the fucking ends if you're riding out. Play the strut in your Batmobiles. Bat soup, bad moods and bad dudes. Bless them, bless me and bless you. Bat soup, bad moods and bad views. Bless them, bless me is verse 2. I keep it rocking and do this job in my boxes. Them other rappers are bollocks pretending they're top shutters. Came repelling out my mother's snatch. They knew I was a monster. Renegade pen could win a Grammy or an Oscar. Unless I rap too well to be popular. They wanna keep you dumb blood. This Chelsea playing Scunthorpe. I ain't passing my torch. I'm crashing your browser outside of your council housing while stealing your car like a scouser. I'm kicking you out. This the end of your tendency. The best motherfucker even though they never mention me. Busting like Rosa Parks when giving you story arcs. I love and read the arts that'll bust you in the clock when throwing my woo darts. Never show them all your cards. Ride all the challenges and chemical imbalances that make a nigga mad as this to come and smash a track to bits. Giving this track brain damage. Bat soup, bad moods and bad dudes. Bless them, bless me and bless you. Bat soup, bad moods and bad views. Bless you, bless me and my crew. Get the pints in, I came up in the mix around the rowdy blacks and Irish. That's why my rap is violent, giving your wife a pipe in. Until then, good night friend. The best you could have been was my hype man. Goodbye fam, I'm in season like basic bitches loving gin. Fuck the DJ up if he don't play my cut again. Pass the trophy, my flow give you nosebleeds. Or snitch on your cold knees, or bow to a hoe's needs. A half-breed going warp speed on a raw beat. It's so delicious, I've never been a player, still a juvenile.
You were doing stuff for a lot of other people as well then?
Well, just for my family and stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Family members who can't go out.
Yeah, I've had to do it a lot myself, as well. I was asking.
yeah, but I don't mind. I'm like, fuck it. Because I've got a lot of expended energy anyway. I'm usually doing comedy. I'm usually at the gym full time. Do you know what I mean? Fucking
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
I can use my Lukeman energy for good.
Yeah.
It's normally used on hedonism.
I can use my powers for good for once.
I remember before I stopped this geezer getting bullied in a chicken shop. It was so funny. Not for him, he was getting bullied, but like I was in a chicken shop in London, come out the pub, and there's some Indian geezers in there, and they're bullying the guy who worked behind the counter. I think he's Muslim or whatever, but I think he was an immigrant. And these guys like race here, these Indian guys, and they were cussing this guy like, "Look at you, fucking stupid, retarded piece of shit working in the chicken shop," cussing this geezer out, you know, and he's just trying to like make their food and live his life, and they're being so disrespectful to him.
Not surprising though.
And I told him like, "Yo, calm down, you know, the geezer's just trying to make his fucking living." And then one of the Indian geezers was being like the biggest cunt. He threw some chips, started throwing chips at the geezer when he was making my food, and he stopped making my food because chips kept hitting him in the side of the head. And I was like, "Yo, leave him alone." I was like, "I ain't fucking out with you." And then the Indian was like, "Yeah, bro, okay, bro." And then I've just turned back, like, I stood here to make the food. The guy has turned and he grabbed a roasting hot hand of chips and he launched them and he meant to hit the geezer and he's hitting me in the back of the head. I turned around like, what the fuck? And the geezer, oh shit. Got 4 Indian geezers. I grabbed this geezer and I threw him across the chicken shop into the wall like a lift. I fucking launched him and I ran over and I chopped him in the neck and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" I didn't mean it. I was like, "Yeah, but you meant to get someone else." It wasn't an innocent thing. You just got the wrong person. So this is an accident. I didn't mean to do something bad. You just got the wrong guy. You thought you got someone who ain't gonna be able to do anything. I said, "No, cheap."
Wait, was the guy who was behind the counter that threw it?
No. So
that makes more sense now. Okay.
The customer threw it at the worker, and so it all the got hit me in the back of the head. All the food. I turned around and I switched and started throwing him around the shop.
Oh, I bet that felt great as well because you already knew he was a dickhead as well. So
I know. I was like, this is just that all the people in here know that this is complete justice.
Yeah. You're like fucking Batman at that point.
I give him a little slap. I was like, "Sit down and eat your food with your mates. If you look up from when you're eating your food, I'm going to bang you out in front of your mates. And your night is over, mate. It's done. You're going home."
Oh, that was the most stressful meal he ever had.
Oh, for him, I was fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some extra chicken. He gave me loads of extra shit on my meal, like bus. And I was like, "Don't worry, son. It's fine."
He was trying to be nice, but that was just probably extra food poisoning.
I was being, because I was just like, "Yo, this geezer, like, so he might be uneducated and trying to better his life. These geezers in there taking the piss." And I was like, if it was me behind that counter and the geezer did that to me, I would have gone to jail that night, to prison, a sentence.
Oh yeah, I remember that kind of shit from school, and I think back to myself, it's like, how did you let any of that kind of stuff go? Like when you were in school, I don't understand it now. Just the concept of that.
I know. I was like, you can't let them just keep having that, because like people will be like, if you ignore them, they'll stop. They won't. You got to do them. You got to do them. I'm sorry.
You do. You got to hold your head up and be a dick to them.
Trust me.
Oh fucking hell! So how was the? Yeah, I haven't watched you rap stuff yet. Actually,
starting podcast yet? Are we just chatting at the minute?
Oh no, I started the podcast.
Oh, I didn't realize we started the podcast. No.
Yeah.
Are we doing live?
No, I'm just recording it and then I'll put it on.
Okay, I was gonna say we should do like an official. Hey, Luke's on the podcast, like, and then cut from here and go from there. Like, do you know what I mean? Rather than our informal beginning chat. I don't know. That's my.
I do that. I do it at the beginning and then I cut to it after. So I have my little intro bit and then I introduce who's on in that and then we cut to it as if we're cutting to like a natural point.
I would have talked about more interesting shit than my general day. That's what I meant. Like, I thought we were just having.
That can be the general intro bit then. There you go.
All right. I'll pretend we're starting hypothetically from now. I'm Lukeman, local comedian and rapper from Birmingham. What's up?
Yeah, I haven't got a chance. I haven't had a chance to check out your rap stuff yet. So, what kind of stuff have you been doing? Like, were you doing it before in that?
Yeah, I used to be a rapper back in the day. I used to battle in clubs. I used to make songs. I used to do that stuff, and then I stopped, fell out of it for a bit, and then I just got the feel for it again during this quarantine time because I live by myself, and
Oh, yeah.
so in the morning, I'm getting up, doing a little workout, and then just writing some music. For the first like week or two of lockdown, I was just drinking too much, just eating too much bullshit, and not really doing anything productive. So I was
Yeah.
like, if I give myself a target or a goal or a few goals every week to accomplish, and put my energy into doing those things, then at least my time won't be wasted in quarantine. And then when the world's back on again, I'll be like, oh, I
It's
got.
good though. It's good to be fair because I've been doing exactly the same thing, man. Just oh shit, why is that opened? Been doing the same stuff, just whatever I can to keep productive. Just keep saying like it works. It really does. Um,
Definitely, and I see a lot of comics and people of different creative types trying sort of different ways to make content. The professionals who are really doing it professionally, they need to do that because they know
yeah,
the
yeah,
source of income. And then those of us who are creatives who are trying to make it in the industry, like I, outside of normal life, outside of my work life anyway, I'd usually be being creative, doing comedy or doing something else anyway. And I felt I needed somewhere to channel that. And then you're seeing sort of different reactions to that. Some people are like, oh, that's great. There's all these new things. And then you're seeing some negative reactions like,
yeah.
all these people trying new things. How dare they? They're
Yeah.
trying to think of ways to improve their lives and entertain themselves and make themselves laugh. How
How
dare
dare,
they?
how dare you get through this fucking pandemic in your own way? You fucking twat.
I know I'm seeing so much of that, or people, arguing over pay things, or even like people like it's fair enough. The lockdown, the disease thing, it's serious, fair enough. But then people who are like taking it too serious, and the people who are looking out their window at their neighbours, like, is that social distancing?
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
the police on them. That to me, they're the sort of people. If they put us all in cages tomorrow,
Hmm.
they are the people who they would make the guards, and they would justify it by saying, "I'm just doing my job, man. It's the law. It's the law."
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean, but I think everyone's kind of guilty of that as well in the same way because I know I've done it a few times. Like I'm walking up the street. It's when people get too close to me when I'm walking up the road that fucking does my nut in.
Oh, that's fair enough. I've done that. I've been walking in the road, and I've been
Yeah,
seeing posts because I drive. But I've been seeing posts from drivers complaining, why are people walking in the road? I'm walking along the road because Sandra, with 5 fucking kids, zigzagging all across the pavement, she ain't got a leash on them motherfuckers.
yeah. It's fucking true, man. And most of the fucking roads as well are like because I've been walking everywhere because as you know I don't drive and fuck am I getting the buzz at the moment because you can't like you can't do anything on the bus like in regards to get away from people to being socially distant. It just doesn't work. The fuck am I going on buses, man?
I watched Schindler's List for the first time the other day. Found it to be quite moving. I'm not a man who's moved easily. I'm sure you know, Carl.
What?
I'm sure you can
What?
tell I'm not a man who's moved easily. Like I
No.
watched, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is so sad. Like I am being made to feel sad by this film. I was like,
I've never seen that film. I don't know.
you know what it's about, right?
I know it's a generally sad film. It's one of the ones that's always mentioned. I don't really know what it's about, even don't know.
Okay, so it's about the Holocaust. It's from the
Oh,
early
no.
90s, and it's made by Steven Spielberg, and stars Liam Neeson and Ben Kingsley. And yeah, it's just basically about the Holocaust and what the Jewish people went through. And
Yeah.
it is so horrific. I was like, I've watched it once, and I would say it's in my top 10 films. Like
Really?
I elevated it to such a status after a first viewing. I think the way, as well as the way it was shot, quite a perfect scene for scene film.
It's
And
informative, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not just soppy, like, it's actually give you real information.
Watch it.
Okay, because that bothers me with films, especially historic ones, when they just just give you some bullshit, basically.
Watch it and come back to me on a future episode, Carl. I'm not
Okay.
going to give recommendations lightly.
You know what? I need to start watching films over the whole quarantine time. Although, to be fair, I don't know how much longer we're going to have of it now, judging by what they've been saying.
I think with my work, they're not going to make us go back for a few months, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I think it should be like that everywhere, realistically.
Indeed. Have you been writing much comedy?
Um, I've been writing little bits and that, working on stuff, but I've been doing that quarantine show more than anything. And thank you for
Sweet.
doing that as well.
No problem. Anytime, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to feel weird getting on the stage, like my stage virginity again. It hasn't been too long so far, but obviously this is the longest period of time where I've not, been on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah. It's going to be like that for everyone, though, which is going to be really interesting to see when it starts again.
Well, I think the veterans and the pros, to them, they'll shake off the dust quicker than, newer people.
I think it depends on the person, man, really. Because someone that's been doing it for ages could, have their confidence knocked because of it, and they don't know what it's going to be like in this new kind of. People are going to look at a lot of things in a different way. So some people might feel weird about it. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I feel like my comedy has just got a lot more honest and stuff in the time. But yeah, it's just going to be weird, though. Or it could be.
Are you a gamer?
Not really. Anymore. I used to be. Are you?
Yeah, currently playing Batman Arkham Knight.
I swear, who was I talking? Nathan Parrish?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was talking to him recently, and he was playing exactly the same game when I was talking to him. Oh, he was on about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like the Arkham games. They were one of the ones I did like. I'm more into like the story games rather than multiplayers.
Yeah, likewise, I like myself a good RPG.
Yeah. Every game's kind of got elements of RPG in it now, though. I think.
You know what? We haven't heard it for a while.
What's that?
Brexit. We haven't heard from it or about it.
That's
No,
because you've already left, man.
I know, but what I mean is, for the last several years, that was what I heard every single day when I
Yeah.
turned on the news or the media. Now, it's coronavirus, and I'm like, it's been like each news cycle takes 3 years for one big story.
Yeah, at the moment it's just everywhere, though, and that's kind of one good thing for all the Brexit people in their head. They're like, okay, we just need to get it done and forgotten about now, and this has happened at the perfect time for them. That's sweet.
Also, Trump 2020.
Yeah. Oh God, man, did you see the thing about the injecting yourself with fucking what was it he said again? A disinfectant.
Indeed.
That was fucking. Oh God, I
He is going to win by
think.
a nice margin.
Think.
He's going to win. I'm telling you right now, whatever the date on this podcast is, Carl, feel free to reference it on a later podcast.
The 6th of May or the 8th of May, depending on when they put this together.
Okay, that's right.
But,
yes.
You reckon so?
Yeah.
Who's he against again? Because I know it was Joe Biden. Didn't a few of them drop out?
Bernie dropped out. Elizabeth Warren dropped out. So they don't have anyone good to battle Trump. So he's not amazing. It's that they've got no one to battle him. Biden is not the best orator, and then he's got a bit of a sex scandal going on at the moment.
Is he the rich guy?
He was Barack Obama's vice president.
Oh, okay. But Bernie was the one that people liked, wasn't he?
He was. Bernie was there, Corbyn, but he wasn't. I would say he was nowhere near as ultra progressive as Corbyn, if you will.
I think that's still debatable anyway. How progressive he is.
I
I don't know, man.
I feel like people are getting along less each year.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing I'm doing right now, aren't you?
Pardon?
You're rolling as well, aren't you, at the moment?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Say that again, so anyway.
I feel like people are getting along less each year, and I feel that the mainstream media and the government encourage divisiveness between the citizens in different groups and want people to argue to keep society divided and to keep people fearful of each other. So we'll keep doing what they want and buying what they want us to buy.
The media are, yeah, I mean, I don't look at most conspiracy. I love conspiracy theories and talking about them in general, but I think most of them there's not that much to them. But as far as the media, yeah, they just kind of push this shit all the time. They push like at the moment with all this Corona stuff, they're very much pushing all the negative sides of it. They're making the news as bad as they can, or come across as bad as they can. Sorry.
Be terrified at all times.
It's weird though. I don't understand the reasoning for it because I don't understand how that would, make it so you have to buy more stuff or what. I forget what you said.
Well, people panic bought straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. They've had to change the rules of how people shop and enforce new rules at every shopping centre across the nation.
Yeah, they did have to do that.
They
But
did.
that was only for that was only for a small that was only for a small amount of time though, in all fairness.
No, but ration rules are still going down at some supermarkets in terms of maximum amount of items that you can buy. I was speaking to my auntie yesterday, and she told me about someone going mental, getting dragged out of a supermarket because they were telling you only had to buy 4 of everything. This person demanded to buy 8 of whatever things they were buying.
Yeah, I made this argument lately. Like they say to you that you if you can go to the shop for other people and buy stuff for them, but then when you go to the shop, they tell you can only have 1 of each thing. So you can only go to the shop and buy stuff for people if you're buying different things each.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Or you go to different stores.
Yeah, but that's just bore like.
I know. You got work to do your part, Carl.
Oh, no, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand it and agree with it and all that. I'm just saying that's a bore like though. Like this, I'm completely like. Sorry, I'm just moving to smoke at the moment. Yeah, I'm completely fine with like the whole thing. Like I get why we've got to do it, and yeah, I'm fine with it personally.
Did you have any like pre-prepared questions for me?
I've got notes and stuff written down. I'm just moving at the moment. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, my podcast though. It's more just like free-form chats and stuff, isn't it, rather than questions. I throw little ones in there. It seems like I'm not asking them, but I throw little ones in there.
I know it's just good to have some direction for the flow with it.
Ah, yeah. Let me have a look what I got on here. Just more like talking points than anything. But I mean, you're talking about America and stuff. Like, what's your opinion on? I think we've been quite chilled out about all this. Like, the reason I say it is because, like, in America, I noticed it especially like on the Joe Rogan podcast. A lot of the people over there straight away, like, because they were like a week and a half, 2 weeks later going on lockdown than we were. And I noticed the people on there were bitching a lot earlier about like, it, was it stepping on their freedom and that over there and saying that it's wrong and stuff. Now getting a lot more annoyed by it a lot quicker than we were. I feel like we were a lot chilled out for a lot longer, and still now more so than America.
I think we are a much more subjugated people than them. I think they're much more likely to riot or to kick off about something. So sometimes it might be justified, sometimes it won't. But I feel with with the British people, I feel you can do almost anything to them and they will never kick off. And there's a certain amount of passiveness that British people have accepted due to like their life standard for the most part. Like, my life is at this quality, so I won't kick off.
Well, I see what you're saying. I mean, I totally see what you're saying in regards to how it can be bad because we don't kick off about it as much. I think in this situation, it's
I wasn't referencing specifically this incident or the
yeah,
quarantine.
yeah.
I mean, in general, I feel if the rights of people are being suppressed in general here, people tend to say, oh, it's not me. Oh, you should have followed the laws. Or you shouldn't have been doing X, Y, Z or whatever. And then freedoms get restricted for everybody due to, certain incidents. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that's what it needs to be for our safety. And then you can remove personal freedoms in the guise of safety until
I don't think we have that though at all. I think like in England especially, we're very sweet. Like I know what you mean about we're maybe sometimes too passive in regards to America. Sometimes, yeah, I see what you're saying now, I agree. But I think all in all, we're very much in the middle of everything. Like, because you got people that are way too, kick off about things too quick. Like, even worse than America. But then you've got ones, that are way the other way that are take control too much.
Have a sense of entitlement here, and you see that with the way people treat people in stores, or people treat waitresses, or people serve them, and things of that nature. I've never liked that. I was at a date with a girl a year or two ago. We were in a restaurant, and she started being kind of mean to the kid who was serving us because the restaurant didn't have some of the things that she wanted that were sold out. And I called this girl out on this, and I was like, why are you treating this kid like this? He's probably not on a good wage, and you're making his life hell.
Yeah.
She was surprised that I told her about herself, but then I thought, hey, if you want to shout with me, you're going to get some.
Girls are not used to that, are they, though, when you do that to him?
I think it depends how hot they are. This girl was really hot, so I think people told her the truth less.
Yeah, definitely.
That might be a proverb. People tell hot women the truth less.
I think I heard a song, "Beautiful Girls That Are Loneliest." That kind of works. Kind of.
Okay.
Not really. That sounds a bit more deep. Kind of works.
I just meant people are more inclined to tell someone what they want to hear if they're attractive.
Yeah, you know what? Guys are terrible, so it's true. Like, it's the whole thing, isn't it? Guys are most honest to girls in that moment after we've just finished having sex, because that's the one time we're not trying to have sex.
Yeah.
Because we're done at that point.
You loaded the clip. You're like, okay.
It takes a bit of time to reload, so.
Now we can resume normal programming.
I don't know, normal program for us is being terrible, I think.
What are your top 5 films, Carl?
Oh, that's a hard question, man. Hard question to throw at me. Yeah. Top, at least you ask top 5.
I don't think it's on the hard side, to be honest.
I don't know. It's hard to nail down. I love films, man. Like, that's the one thing I'm missing at the moment is the cinema. I'm really missing the cinema. Not very much. I used to have the card. Now I would go down on my own and that all the time. 5 favorite. Okay. I mean, Infinity War's got to be up there just because it was a culmination of like everything with Marvel. But if I was a really good film, Fight Club's a great film. Shawshank, that's another great film. I'm in trouble thinking of others. I'm sure there's a few. Give me some of yours.
Okay. Top 5. Pulp Fiction. Godfather Part 1. American Beauty. Fight Club.
Yeah.
LA Confidential.
I don't think I've seen most of those films, you know.
No, get on it. Some bangers on that list.
No, I haven't seen You made me think of American Psycho when you were talking, though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
I have. It's nothing like American Beauty. American Beauty is a drama.
That's what made me think of it, though. Yeah, funny enough.
Yeah, they are both about the concept of the American dream and people pursuing the American dream.
In extremely ways.
About different aspects of that. So Patrick Bateman's like 80s capitalism, and then the other one's like middle class suburban life, but it's really a nightmare that he hates behind closed doors.
Mm.
That's always a good thing in like American films or media, like the notion of the American dream, like you work hard enough, you can come here, you can be rich, you can be happy, you can have beautiful wife, beautiful house. And then sometimes when people give their whole life to sort of achieve those things and they eventually get them, they find out it's not what they really wanted or whatever their end game was.
Yeah. You could say that about anything, though, couldn't you? About anyone going for a goal. That's why I don't get why. Yeah, why America's like so special. It's like it's the same anywhere.
Well, it's the notion of what they call American exceptionalism, that Americans believe that they are exceptional. They believe, like, I think there's like 192 countries, and they're like, we are definitely the best country. It's unquestionably by any measure. And I'm like, there's no room for interpretation.
Fucking world police, and it's true. They do feel like that, man. Like,
to be fair, though, they are relatively good at policing the world. Like, quite a few countries use American military because they can't afford their own military. Or
there's 4, isn't there? I forget what it's called now.
To stabilize the whatever region they're in.
We're one of them, so we're involved just as much as they are.
Mm. Well, yeah, I suppose we're a superpower, even though we're small, I'd say.
Yeah, we definitely are. We're a superpower, and we're involved in that. There's a name for it. There's like 4 or 5 of the main regions. Like I think Italy's one too, and there's something else. And you have like the main Australia's one. You have the main route for the satellites then over the world. So they're like the main power now.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. I forgot what we were talking about now. What was I saying before that?
The American dream.
Oh yeah. You know, yeah, it's the same over here though. Completely. It's no different over here. It'd be a lot worse if it was in China.
Definitely. Over there, they could just come and lock you in a prisoner of war camp for saying the wrong thing.
Yeah. Which brings me greatly on to the next question then. Question. What's your opinion like on just everything that happened, you know, like, with like Corona and all that? Obviously, you know, like it's way off. We might never find out really exactly what happened, but just what's your opinion at the moment? You know,
Elaborate on the question a bit more, be more specific.
The cause of it.
Okay. I don't know. As I say, there's the whole bat soup origins that, you know, is from the wet markets, and there was contaminated meat, and that contaminated other meat, and that's how other outbreaks have started. Then there's the other premise that it is a bioweapon that escaped from a lab that they were creating, and like, for me, as a man who loves film and who loves sci-fi, I kind of
a narrative
that, because the premise is a lot more exciting. Like, 2 scientists like, be careful when you're holding that vial, and he drops the vial and he looks at the other geese and he's like, oh shit. Fucking, that would be the start of a film. That would be like the start of like a Godzilla film or something.
And it would happen. And so just before you go to something else, what I found quite interesting that I found out recently, I don't know if you was aware, but that lab that is kind of a culprit, you know, they say it might be one that it came from. It's only a few blocks from the wet market anyway, where they say it came from. And in 2018 or 19, um, they were like reprimanded and had to pay some fine for breaching like some kind of safety guidelines. And there was some kind of small like breach thing then. So yeah, you know, I could see that being the case basically. What you were saying, it would just be an accident.
One of the most interesting thoughts I've had about all this, which like originally I wasn't gonna do any Corona material, but I've
Mm.
got quite a good premise, and then I'm like, oh, do I even want to say this premise on the podcast? Someone may have already thought of it, do you know what I mean? But like
I was thinking, I'm sure they have, but
when I do topics, I try and sort of hit them from a different angle. Or I might just do a video talking about this tomorrow myself on my own channel. But whenever that moment that the coronavirus was actually created, that sort of inception moment, whether that be that an animal comes into contact with another animal,
yeah,
or they drop the test tube that smashes in the lab that changes the world,
yeah,
from
yeah,
when that moment was, the sort of butterfly effect level of things that changed in the world from that moment is of
yeah.
an astronomical scale of things that are rarely seen. So one of the last things I think that was like 9/11. Nine
Mm.
eleven was in 2001, almost 20 years ago. And
Which
that
is
changed
crazy, first of all, straight
travel
away.
is around the world and the way security is around the world for
It changed
traveling, for
everything, yeah, straight away, yeah.
so this is going to change things on that scale as well, and
Bigger.
then planes, boats, loads of things will never be the same after this. But
It'll
as
be a
well
lot
as
bigger. It's going to, you know, be the same for the whole world, and not just for America and then people close to
let me
America, you know.
sorry, Carl, let me finish this point. But
Good.
as well as changing things on a functional level, they will change things on a historical level in terms of there are concerts, sports games that will never happen, that will never be a result of. There are people who would have gone somewhere and been murdered who never got murdered. There were people who would have been murdered by a random stranger on a random night. Those
Mm.
incidents wouldn't have been occurred. There are people who would have met socializing and had a one night stand and had a baby, and those babies don't exist. And I'm thinking about that as a concept and something to do with that comedically, because that is quite a good little time travel premise.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you could do a film, Corona timeline and non-Corona timeline,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
different incidents flicking back and forth. And on timeline A, everything's going well. And it flips to timeline B, coronavirus timeline. If you go back to timeline A, you get mugged and die on this
Yeah.
timeline on Tuesday, so you need to go back and get the coronavirus from the other timeline.
You could go into like into the Corona timeline, and you could see yourself like see like a tissue in the corner of your room that you remember spunking into like 10 months ago, and then you go back to the normal timeline and it's actually a kid you had like a month ago. It just phases it. Yeah, I like that. That's a good little premise.
That would be funny.
Mm. Yeah, which makes for that'd be like great for like doing like I want to say like a long. I want to say like sketches, but obviously it'd be longer. It'd be more like a little thing, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna do something with that idea because I just
Mm.
thought that's smart, Luke, man. Go you.
You should do, man. Yeah, like start making like little videos and that. But I need to check out your rap stuff though, like generally.
Yeah, man, you should have listened to it as research before this podcast.
I should have done, you know. Yeah, actually, what I was planning on doing, which I might still do now, actually, I was just gonna listen to it and then react to it on here because I was going to show you mine as well. Huh?
Go for it.
You know what? I don't even know. Let me see.
I want to get a beer.
Okay, dog. Is that on your Facebook?
Yeah, on my Facebook.
Okay.
So yeah.
Make a note of what time it is. Just minute. what I'm gonna have to do to show you my one is I'm gonna have to put it on
Not gonna be able to
YouTube.
not gonna be able to do it because with my thing on the thing. Like, so
Huh?
can I check yours after the show? Because my shit's all hooked up on the thing.
Yeah, if you need to. Mine's just a funny one anyway. I did it with some of the other comics that it's like a cover for Straight Outta Compton and just doing like a funny verse each.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was fun to do, man, to be honest. Fuck, do I get off this? Facebook's doing something weird.
Yeah, I'm looking to make an hip hop EP when the lockdown's over.
Yeah. What are you working with at the moment, like tech-wise?
Nothing. I'm literally I've just got a little microphone that I plug into my phone, put the camera in a tripod. So I'm not recording tracks. I'm playing instrumentals at my speakers quite loud, and I'm just freestyling a whole song. So I'm not doing like cut and paste in a tune, like just cut a verse, paste a verse. I'm literally like just spitting the whole song back to finish or whatever, writing a new song every other day. And so I spoke to a few producers, and one or two people hooking up with beats. We're going to buy a few beats as well. To
Yeah.
cut a little 5-track EP, and then I might see if I can, when life opens back up again, I might see if I can get a little performance of it somewhere. So I'm like, because I know people in like bar club sort of industry or whatever, and like and stuff. So I'll potentially see if I can get like a live performance somewhere eventually of the and just even if I just do.
You can definitely do it, man. You can make it happen yourself if it's hard to find one that's already happening. It's no biggie to do that. You can definitely do it.
No, I can, but I want somewhere that's already promoted.
You want somewhere established.
I don't like with the comedy. When we're starting on the comedy, like, obviously we're doing like sort of bottom level and stuff, and that's fine. Sort of like I'm earning my stripes with that. Like I'm already a sick rapper. Put me on. I'm still growing as a comic. Do you know what I mean? I'm very much in the early stage.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. To kind of go back from the bottom again, though, don't you, with rapping?
Pardon?
So at the same time, though, you need to kind of go back from the bottom again with rapping, don't you?
Not with my skill level.
No, not with the skill
with
level.
my skill level. So
not with your skill level, just like your reputation,
100%, 100%. That element of it. But I think in terms of I'm more network savvy now than when I was younger. So do you know what I mean? I think I'll be able to move quicker. But as I said, it's not even like I'm trying to make something big out of it. Like I'm not trying to like be a professional rapper. I'm just like I know that I have the talent to make one good project, and if that's all I ever do, my boys play it like, yo, this was Lukeman's EP. It was sick.
Yeah. I understand completely, man. Like when I was doing like the rock music side, like I used to just really enjoy. I got the same kind of feeling as well, yeah. But I just found it always nauseating, though. Like, actually, I suppose you wouldn't have it as much. Like when you're working in a band, working with a group of people, it's bore like.
See, I never really had that. Like, so I was like, there are people who who are my homies within the hip hop, sort of community when I was younger. But like, in a group, it was just like, I'm doing my tunes. This is my studio session. I've paid for this time. This is what I'm doing in here.
Oh, I think your video is finally loading. I've been doing this the whole time, trying to load it up. It's just been going slow.
Sweet. This is the most recent one.
I think so. 5th of May.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You got a good flow. I like the hook in the middle. So what's that beat in this one then? Is that one that's already something, or is that just one you made?
No. I don't use beats. I don't use beats that are like a well-known song
Yeah.
already. It's like I'll have the lyrics to that song in my head. So I'm just picking like unreleased instrumentals that people haven't made songs out of.
Oh yeah, on those websites and that. I've seen you can get them. I was looking at them when I was doing my podcast stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, when the world's gone back to normal again, I should try like doing it with a drum or something. But I'd love to do that myself and get like a bassist or something. That's one thing I've always wanted to do is do something with an MC, but never found a good one. Most of them are shit.
As I say, like I'm getting back on the comedy when this is over, but like recording the EP, so I'm just like hitting people up for beats at the minute. Like some producers like are giving me free beats. Other people, I'm going to buy some beats. I'm actually going to put some money in the project or whatever. So I
Yeah.
was like, if I'm going to do it, I don't want it to be shabby. And I'm like, I want this to be a project I'm proud of. If I'm only going to do, it could turn out well, and I do loads. But just for the sake of this of now, I'm doing one.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
To be honest,
again.
I Lukeman rhymes again. I saw that. I like the difference in that.
Yeah.
Fucking there's someone I'll have to put you in touch with. I don't know how to do it though because he kind of doesn't like me very much at the moment, but he's very good. Like I won't go into why. He's very good. Like with his he's a really good bassist and he makes like a lot of beats and all that kind of stuff. That's all his kind of crap that he does. Yeah. He's been looking for a rapper for a while, so I have to see if he's still looking for one. You might appreciate his stuff. To be fair.
Yeah. If he's got beats, send him my way. If anyone watching this produces hip hop music like 90s boom bap style, hit up your boy Lukeman.
And if anyone is looking for someone to do porn, hey. Oh, fucking hell. You know what's crazy though? Did you hear that? Out of all the things that have been closing down, did you hear about WWE? Still, not only are they still going, but they've been deemed an essential business. They're allowed to go live and everything.
God bless him. Good old Vince.
You're not a wrestling fan, I know.
90s, but not really after the 90s.
Is that just because you were a kid, or
it was because I was a kid, and then like I was like I went to wrestling, and it shattered the illusion. I went to WCW, and I was really close. I was almost like on the front row, and I could see that he wasn't really hitting him with the thing, and it upset me. And I was like, "We've paid £60 for these tickets, and he's not even hurting him." I was like 11. I was like, "Dad, these bollocks!" My dad was like, "Son, I didn't know."
That's great.
I was pissed off. I seen Booker T. Booker T was right in front of me,
I
massive.
used to really like Booker T.
I was like, this man could snap me in half.
He had a fight with Batista backstage and he beat him.
I heard.
Yeah.
I watched, even though I'm not big on wrestling currently, I watched What Culture Wrestling. They're like top 10 lists. Just
yeah.
relevant. Like, I do have things I did like from wrestling. Like, I loved the D-Generation X crew because they were like the gangster rap crew of wrestling. Like, yeah, we don't give a shit. And I'm like, those guys have got an attitude problem.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fucking there's like a different kind of wrestling company that have come up now that are kind of like that version, but now, but it's like a wrestling
CW of today.
Well, yeah, basically it's AEW, like run by wrestlers basically, and some other billionaire that wants to do it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time there's someone actually going against it.
With sports, normally one company normally gets a monopoly on what sport it is, whether it be NFL, NBA, FIFA, etc. And there's nothing to say that someone else, like, if we had millions of dollars, like, actually, we've started our own £1 billion football league. This is the new fucking Lukeman's Chicken Shop Ganjarama Football League.
Yeah, I'd watch that. If that was a title, I'd watch that.
Dude.
Did you see the thing? You might have seen it already. I don't know if I talked to you already about it. I don't think we did. About the different videos that have come out from the Pentagon, like of
Can I one more point on that last thing before we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the different sports that have been monopolized, people do try and come up with sort of alternative brands. Like, to the NBA, Ice Cube, the rapper Ice Cube.
Yeah.
He's got his own league, which I believe is called like the Big Three, which is I think basketball's normally played 6-on-6, and this one is like 3-on-3. So it sort of changes the format of the sport. There was one before that tried it on trampolines, and it was used to be on TV back in the day.
Oh, you got basketball?
Yeah. So imagine a basketball game on a massive trampoline.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
And you can do somersaults and slam and shit like that. And I'm like,
It's fucking amazing. I'd love to do that. I'd break my neck, but I'd love to try it.
As well, I'm far too clumsy, and it was like, I'll spectate.
I'd love to be a wrestler. All my life I've wanted to be a wrestler when I was a kid. But as I got older, I'm like, I could never trust someone enough to pick me up and not break me. I don't want my neck snapped into, like I'll be a comedian, so I can do like wrestler promos without the actual, bones breaking.
You're going to have to bulk up a lot, son. What is it like?
Huh?
You're going to have to bulk up a lot, son.
Yeah, I used to be a lot stronger. It's not that hard for me, for my frame. Although I'd never be big enough for that.
Well, no, because it's not specific about your frame. It's about obviously just how much like bulk you put on. Obviously, because you got little wrestlers and like there's a little Irish geezer.
Little Irish
wrestling.
Yeah, Finn Balor, you mean?
He had a little stick.
Yeah, I think that's Finn Balor, the guy who wears face paint sometimes.
I don't know. He was a little Irish dude. That's the character I'm talking about. And then there was
tiny little Irish dude you're on about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there was it something Holly, Crash Holly,
yeah, or Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, Hardcore Holly. Yeah. X-Pac wasn't that big.
Nah, he weren't big.
I loved X-Pac.
Do you know he tore his anus doing that move the one time?
The Bronco Buster.
That's it, yeah. Proper tore his anus, man. Apparently, like, almost bled out from it. He was on so many drugs.
Interesting bit of wrestling trivia. Even though I said I'm not really into that wrestling, like just pre-2000s, because that's when I lost touch. There's something I saw about Goldberg accidentally ending Bret Hart's career with the sweet chin music kick to the jaw.
Well, at least it was accidentally, first of all. You wouldn't want it to be on purpose.
I know. I was like, Goldberg, like roundhouse kicking my skull. And I'm like...
It was just a straight, like, mule kick, I think it's called.
It was sweet chin music, yeah. Like
basically,
the Shawn Michaels. Ah!
Ooh. And he didn't even realise straight away he was concussed and then carried on and wrestled a few more matches like the next couple of days.
I remember when Bret Hart died. I was a kid.
Hmm?
I remember the broadcast when Bret Hart died.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart, that's it. I remember the broadcast when Owen Hart died.
The one when he fell from the roof.
Yeah.
Ironically, it was called Over the Edge. Yeah. Okay, I remember watching that live, man. That was, I didn't really understand it that much because I was young, but I still kind of got that it was something weird, you know.
Yeah, this isn't supposed to happen, is it?
No, this feels different.
But
Same
then,
with Eddie.
from when that happened, though, other things that happen, like when they put the guy, when they were like doing, they don't do them anymore, but like inferno matches, like put a geezer in a coffin and set him on fire. And as a kid, because Owen Hart died in the wrestling, I was like, how is Kane back next week? He just set him on fire last week. I swear to God.
He's a demon. Okay, they just at the WrestleMania just gone, where they obviously had no fans for it. They did a Boneyard match, which was a cinematic match with Undertaker and AJ Styles. It was basically a buried alive match,
Okay.
but it was just like filmed like a film. Undertaker came down like on his bike, you know, with some rock music on, like some old man kind of, I don't know, like Logan kind of character. And yeah, apparently they didn't want to call it a buried alive match or a casket match because they felt with the whole Corona thing, the connotations were too near.
God, people die.
Yeah. So, you know.
Another interesting one in terms of like accidental bloopers from like live shows. This one ups the Bret Hart getting kicked in the face by Goldberg, causing him like to have brain damage, making him retire.
Go on then.
This one was a video I saw about a year or two ago, and it was a magician. It was somewhere in the West. It was a white dude. I can't remember where it was, but you know, I'm sure we could find the video. And he's doing his trick. I think his assistant is his wife, and he's got a full house. It's in like, you know, relatively big sort of theatre sort of room, and they're doing the I cut my assistant in half trick.
Oh, okay.
And she gets into the box, and he's like, ah. And then he brings down the sort of guillotine sort of thing situation, and then blood just starts like coming out the box, and then he turns around and he's like, oh my God. And the audience were like, wow, this is so realistic.
Yeah, realistic. Hello. Oh, bugger. Give me 1 sec, Luke.
Right.
Hello.
Made a way, thank you.
Did I tell you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it a proper lag?
No, I'm just on my WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
1 minute.
No worries. I was just checking. Huh? You didn't knock it that loud. That was knocking that loud. Can you properly? I don't mind how loud you knock, but. What, dog? What? me in the front room. Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. So yeah, the magician cut into it and she was bleeding out, or someone. Sorry, he was bleeding.
He cut her in half, his wife.
Oh, she was it. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, it was guillotine. You said, didn't? Yeah. How the fuck did that happen? Then did they go into that? So did they make a point of how the fuck that came about? Like how?
Yeah. So
It feels like there's a pretty big mistake that has been made there.
So the box, the magician guillotine box that you buy, it has different sections in it, and when the person is in there with their head, they move their body out of the other section into the top section, so that so they're not really in the box.
And it's just fake feet sticking out, or
yeah, fake feet sticking out, and then there's a mechanism. That's in the middle of it's supposed to allow them through. The mechanism got caught and wouldn't allow her to move her body up into the next section. She thinks she was trying to tell him, like, he's facing the audience like, hello, the great wonderful magismo. And then she's like, don't press the button. That's like some Final Destination shit, that is. But not really though, because you got into a guillotine. Like,
yeah, you couldn't really complain too much. I don't feel like you could do much in a court of law.
no, like, it was Final Destination. What happened? Like, I thought the gun was empty. I just I clicked it 25 times.
Yeah, there was nothing in there, and then there was. They go, whoa. Have you seen any like good documentaries or anything in this time? I don't know if you really watch documentaries anyway. You see, I feel like
you must not watch documentaries with how I talk. There must have words.
I was literally about to say that though. I feel like you do, just because you seem very like turned on to everything, tuned into everything. You know, you seem like the kind of person that's aware. I don't understand. I know a lot of people that like I talk to them about certain things and they just have no interest in what's going on. It's like I don't understand how you can't be into what's literally going on right now in the world.
Yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries. Obviously, I watched The Tiger King, but that's been talked about to death. So it's like it's good.
Oh,
it's good.
That was overrated. That was.
Yeah. I've seen better documentaries, but it was still very entertaining.
It was entertaining. Yeah.
I've been watching like loads of World War II documentaries. My favorite documentary of all time is called Hookers at the Point. It's a HBO documentary from the early 90s. HBO had a series of documentaries from the early 90s called America Undercover. And I don't know if this falls into that genre, but basically it was sort of showing like the American underworld and crime and things of that nature. So there's Hookers at the Point, where a taxi driver follows these prostitutes for 5 years of their lives. There's one like Inside Bellevue, like America's most famous mental hospital.
Corona.
Right.
Huh?
Sweet.
Carry on.
It's chain smoking these dudes.
Have you done it? Yeah. Have you been doing it yourself, like when you're out and about, like you cough or something after smoking? You have to remind yourself, no, I'm just high. That's why I'm coughing.
I know. I've always thought I've been well. I've been quite healthy. I've been fucking agile.
That doesn't mean anything anyway, though, man. Like you could have it and never know.
That is very true.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like you were saying with the media earlier, they do kind of portray the worst case scenario of it. We kind of glanced over it earlier. Yeah, it's very true. Because like a perfect example of it was, I saw the other day, like they were talking, or like last week, they were talking about how the death rates will have gone up, like talking about it as if it's really bad, but expecting like they should have gone down, but it was literally the next day adding on to the previous day, so it's like, of course it's gone up, there's no way it could go down. There's little things like that, and it's like, well, of course there's more deaths today than there was yesterday. That's how it works.
It In general, yes.
But they've made the point as if it's just it's worthwhile something to report. Made it in the worst possible way, so it makes you seem scared. That's what I'm saying.
And keep you scared.
What are you doing?
I picked up my PlayStation for 1 second.
What are you playing at the moment then? Or what are you going to be playing?
Batman, but it's not playing a Batman sort of bit, even though it is Batman. I'm stuck on a puzzle. It's got loads of puzzles in it and brain teasers.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty good. Like I've actually had to properly rack my brain. Like I've had to go to sleep on some of these puzzles and come back to them in the morning on a clear brain to have another go. And I'm like, if kids are doing this, God bless them.
Yeah.
I'm a relatively smart 31-year-old man, and I'm like, wow, I'm really having to graft to play this. Not to play the game because the puzzles are optional. Like, do you know what I mean?
Which one was it again?
Arkham Knight.
Oh, that's my favourite one, I think. The one with the weird tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, so the puzzles in that are wicked. Playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the puzzles are pretty awesome in that too.
Tomb Raiders, they're pretty hard sometimes. Well, I always find them pretty hard anyway.
I feel like I don't like puzzles, but I appreciate them. Similarly, the same way that I don't really like maths, but then if I start to do some maths, like sometimes for my job and things of that nature, I've had to do like some like proper like serious maths.
Sometimes in life you will need to use maths. You're right, yeah.
But I'm not talking about simple maths as in like calculating normal figures, because I used to run bookies and gambling joints, so like I could count money and like I'm good with like just numbers and stuff. I'm just talking about more so like deeper maths, like dealing with like statistics and figures for companies and stuff like that, and graphs and forecasts and stuff that I've done like since I was in education. And then when I do those things every once in a while, and I feel like it lights up that part of my brain that I haven't used for a while, and then some of my intelligence that's not used in that way. Same as everyone. Like when you like a skill that you haven't done before, that you haven't used in a while, and you'll start to think in different ways. I know some people who are great with maths sometimes aren't like great creatively, but they can do things that I'd never be able to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this man can build a car. I can just be funny and speak rhythmically on beat for 4.5 minutes at a time. He's more impressive car making man.
It's debatable. It's all about perspective. He may wish he could do what you do.
I appreciate and respect. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something else then.
No, it's fine.
Is there anything else you want to bring up for it, man?
Not too much, but I'm gonna get going in the next couple of minutes. You got anything more? Hit me, Carl.
No, that's okay. I think I've covered everything on my side anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all good, man. Yeah. Thanks for that. Right. I appreciate this.
No problem, man. We'll catch up when the world's back on. Yeah. So
we're going to be one of the last things to open back up, to be fair. So
do you edit the podcast?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
All right, sweet.
Yeah,
the beginning cut out before I do the hi, I'm Luke, because I'm talking about Coke and I didn't know that we were recording the podcast. So that and this moment where I'm referencing it now, breaking the fourth wall, you cut those parts. They were like, hey, it's been harder to get cocaine in this apartment.
That's why I was surprised when you started talking about it right at the beginning, but I was like, he's comfortable as I am with drugs.
I am to a certain extent, but I'll do it in the art. I'm going to do it in the art. With deniability, like, that's in a joke. That is in a song. When it's just me, like, the trap man is fucking
talking,
yeah.
Isn't Coke and Bud in the same classification now?
No.
I don't know. What is cocaine in his Bud B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bud
don't know.
was, and they moved it up, but everybody smoked Bud 24/7 in England. Fucking 60 to 70% of the people I know smoke Bud. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I don't understand why. That's one thing I hope
My
will come
dad
from
smoked
Brexit.
Bud. His dad smoked Bud. My son probably gonna smoke Bud.
I was saying this to my kid's mom. I was like, if he comes back one day smoking bud, I don't mind. As long as he's not coming back from nursery smoking bud, you know, getting
Well,
back a bit older.
I hope it's at least when he's like 15, 16, and I can just, his mum's like, has he been smoking? I'm like, I don't think so, you know.
No,
I give him the nod. I'm like, fuck up to bed, soldier.
Even though I do think it is better if you can wait until after, like, you know what I say about your brain developing and that until you're 21 or 25. But I wouldn't expect anyone to wait that long at the same time.
Yeah, they say that and stuff, as I say. Like, by the time I was like 15, 16, I had my own social life by then. I was like, this is where I got a social life. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going to watch this film. I'm going to smoke this weed. Try finger this broad.
It was just one of those things. Some people did like back in the day. They'd go to like the forest.
You're a teenager, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's just what you do, man. It's better than going out and being like a gangster.
as the days of a teenager when I would have been grateful of a hand job. If I was just offered only a hand job now, I would tell you to get out.
Just, yeah. Why would you stop at that? Like, what kind of, yeah. Huh?
I would say if I was just offered if a chick was like, I will only give you a hand job.
Yeah.
Like, I've got no time for your tomfoolery. All right, safe for the man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. You take care as well, man.
Stay safe, man. Keep in touch. I'll see you on the other side, man.
Yeah, peace.
Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with the Babyface and his fellow funny friends.